Hey, what's up, everyone? Hughes from ET Card Collector. Well, it's Saturday, June 6th. I just got back from the NTX Card Show up in Louisville. It was a pretty good show, 300 or so tables. This one is the NTX Sports Card Show, but they really made it to where it's probably about half sports, maybe 25% Pokemon, and then 25% anime, video games, action figures, that type of stuff. So the way it's kind of broken out, laid out, if you will. The bottom floor is mostly sports cards over back in the corner, maybe about 40 or 50 tables, maybe more. I didn't go back there, but just once. It's Pokemon. Then you take the escalator upstairs, and that's where the anime is, the comic books, action figures, video games, stuff like that. I didn't find that out until I was on my way out the door. Otherwise, I would have gone up to look at some of the video games. Maybe some there that I played as a kid back in the late 80s and early 90s. But I was there for sports cards, and so I did pick up sports cards. I bought from 3 dealers on the day. Not many vintage guys. The nice thing about this show is there was a lot of 10-cent, 25-cent dollar boxes, and quite a few of them were sorted by team or by player, which is really nice since I'm pretty specific with what I collect. I don't really just want to go through a bunch of dollar boxes looking for Texas Rangers. I want to, find a dollar box and go to the Rangers section. And so I was able to do that. I don't know that I picked up any Rangers other than some Nolan Rhines. But it was nice to be able to go through and sort and say, oh, I've got that card, or, go find a Ranger section. That's all Bowman, Chrome, and I'm not interested in that stuff. Just put it back and walk on. So that's all really nice. That said, I had a good time. I saw some people I knew. I bought a set that, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'll show it here in a second. And then I'll talk and show some of the other cards I got. But kind of looking ahead now that summer's here to the summer plans. I know the Nationals coming up in about 8 weeks, maybe 7 weeks. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to that this year. I went last year for the first time. I had a blast. I really enjoyed my time there and getting to see all the guys, or a lot of the guys that I see on YouTube that I can put faces with names and shake a hand and visit about a collection, or just walk around the show and just talk and visit and hang out. So that was a lot of fun. But that said, I'm not going to be able to do that this year, as I'm not going to the National. I do plan on going to the Dallas Card Show. I believe it is July 4th weekend. I'll have to double check that. And so that'll be nice to go to over the weekend. I enjoy going there for the same reason. You see a lot of faces, a lot of the people in the hobby that are on YouTube and whatnot, and Instagram. You get to see there. Yes, you see a lot of great cards, and I mean, you can see a lot of cards and a lot of great cards at different shows. It's really about seeing the people. And so that's what I like about Dallas. So I'll do the Dallas show most likely. The Denton Card Show up the road is coming up in a few weeks. I think January 20th is what I said. That's more than a few weeks. June 20th is when the Denton Card Show, I believe, is. And I think that's Father's Day weekend. So I'm not sure what our plans are at this time. But I plan on going to that. And so that's a couple of shows, that I'm looking forward to. All that said, I want to show you some of the stuff I picked up today at the NTX show in Louisville. And like I said, it's at an arena that it looks like they bought out an old Dillard's or an old Sears or something and reimagined it into an arena type thing where they can host shows. They had a gun show a couple of weeks ago. Here in a couple of weeks, they've got a sneaker convention. So lots of different shows and cool things to go to. So it's really nice what they've done with the place. And it's really large and it's kind of spread out, where it's not like just shoulder to shoulder. But it was definitely busy. So let's take a look at some of the pickups I got, because I'm rambling on. And so here we go. The first one I'll have to show on this angle was the 1993 Topps factory sealed set. I got it because of the 94 previews. Nolan Ryan has a card in that, and I need that card for my collection. As you can see, it is sealed. The seal is a little broken there, as you can see right around my nose, but it is fully intact. I'm not sure if I will open this and pull the Ryan out, or just sell it as is and use the money to buy a Ryan, but I got a really good deal on it. The guy had that one. I had 87 to 90 top sets and also an 89 Donruss set. But this is really the only one I wanted. I'm building the 89 and 91 and 87 tops as well as the 89 Donruss, so I'm not going to buy those complete. It takes a lot of the fun out of it. But I did buy this one that I will probably turn around and sell most likely. And if I don't, I will open it and pull that Ryan out that's in the preview. So that's the only thing I can show you from this direction. So let's get the camera turned around and look at some more cards. All right, as I said, I bought from 3 dealers. First one I bought from, this was a dime box. And so I spent a little bit of time going through that. He had a bunch of 89 Donruss singles. And of course, I didn't have my list with me after I'd pulled out every single 89 Donruss in the box. So, but I did find a few others. I found an 89 Bowman art card, insert card, whatever, Ted Williams that I need to go with that set. Found an 87 Ricky Henderson and a Bruce Bochy. A 91 Jeff Bagwell rookie. That was a nice find for a dime. Also Larry Walker, Mark Grace, Jim Abbott rookies. Luis Gonzalez rookie, all those were 10 cents. Rhett Lauder, it was a numbered card, which was for 10 cents. A couple of Burger Kings, a Griffey, a couple of Bretts, a couple of Mattingleys, another Mattingly from 90 Bowman Art, and then just some Hall of Famers from 88 traded and 91 traded. And I just thought this was a neat Orange Spawn card, so of him from his days in the war. So all that for 10 cents a piece. Good find. I did add to the Nolan collection from another guy, and the rest of these cards that I show you will be from that guy. I thought this card was pretty neat of Nolan Ryan playing basketball in high school. That was a pretty cool card. Nolan Ryan tipping his cap in the 94. This is 94 Stadium Club. So quite possibly his last game as a Ranger. A little mini card here, League Leaders card. Another one of him tipping his cap there after his 5,000 strikeout. And then just an assortment of other Nolans. I did pick up a couple of dupes on purpose because I've got 2 collections going. I've got my Rangers collection, my Nolan Ryan collection, and then everything else I will put in a Hall of Famer box if I don't have anywhere else for it to go in those 2 collections. So that was gotten. This stack here is all a couple of 60s, but it's mostly 70s, 72 all the way through 79. As you can see, it's a pretty thick stack there. There were only a couple of Hall of Famers on it, Louis Tiant and Joe Morgan. But, you know, for the price I got, I can add them to sets or trade boxes or find something to do with them because, you know, it was a quarter a piece, and so I'm not going to turn that down for 70s cards. And then the last group I got was some 80s Hall of Famers. I'm not going to show you all of them, but 80 through 85, a lot of Fleer here, Steve Carlton, Fergie Jenkins, and so a lot of cards there. I was just kind of going on the cheap today. Like I said, I just was trying to fill in some gaps in the collection, mainly Nolan Ryan. You know, mainly Nolan Ryan, some Hall of Famers, some 70s that, you know, maybe put in towards some sets. So that's what I got for you. I appreciate you watching, and so long.